Good afternoon. Welcome back to Burden Bearing Consulting and Coaching. Today, I just want to start, the first of a few videos to try to be an encouragement in this time. I shared one yesterday just to kind of challenge you to think beyond just yourself in this time and hopefully find some hope and encouragement in that by trying to change your focus and also look to how you can serve and help others in this time of need. So today I want to talk to you about being a leader. Actually, over the next few days, I want to talk about being a leader. Now, I know some of you probably say, "Well, I'm not really a leader. What are you talking about?" But I want to challenge your thinking on that. If you don't think you're really a leader, I want to challenge you a little bit and think about leadership a little bit differently. Some of you know you're leaders, and some of you know that you already have impact in other people's lives, and you're wondering how perhaps to take others through this time in their lives of challenge and crisis and difficulty. Maybe you're the leader of your own business. Maybe you have a small business and you're wondering what you're going to do because you know that layoffs are coming. You know that you're going to be faced with some very difficult decisions. Or perhaps you're a leader within a company, and not only are you trying to figure out how to lead others, but you're wondering what's going to happen to your job in this time. And so I want to try to, in some ways, encourage you all. Yet I know your circumstances and your situations are unique to you, just as mine are unique to me. So I want to try to at least give you a few tools that might be able to be applied wherever you're at, whatever's going on in your life, so that you can not only feel some encouragement for yourself, but you can look to say, how can I impact and help others in this time? So for those of you who struggle just with the idea of even being a leader, like, hey, I'm not a leader. What are you talking about? I work a job where I just go in and do what I'm told to do and collect my paycheck every week, and now I'm faced with, I don't even know, I've either lost my job or maybe be losing it soon. I take care of me. Well, let me just give you this simple little insight. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So, yes, that influence can grow. That influence can have a greater impact on a larger group of people. But when it boils right down to it, leadership in its purest form is just influence. So whether you have influence over one person or whether you have influence over hundreds of people, you are a leader to those that you have influence over. So for those of you who may be wrestling with that idea of leadership, I first want you to just think about the people in your life that look to you in some form, some fashion, in some way. Perhaps it's a spouse, perhaps it's children, perhaps it's a significant other or a partner, perhaps it's your parents, perhaps they're at a time in their life where they're looking to you for help, for influence in their life, in their decision making. Perhaps it's a friend, a neighbor, somebody you've known for a long time, somebody you've recently met. Perhaps it's a coworker. Perhaps you are in a position of responsibility at work where others are looking to you. Wherever there may be some form of influence that you have in somebody's life, you're a leader. Now, whether you're a good leader, a healthy leader, a helpful leader, a servant leader, or whether you're a self-serving leader, those are different questions. And those are questions that you and I have to look in the mirror and answer for ourselves. But let me challenge you with the idea that no matter what kind of a leader you might currently be or have been, that you and I can be better in our leadership. We can be better servant leaders. We can be better influencers. We can have a greater impact, especially in a time of crisis, especially in a time of uncertainty, especially in a time where the road ahead doesn't seem as clear as it once was. There's an opportunity for you and I to influence others, and I want to encourage you and challenge you that your own self-significance, self-value, self-worth will grow in a time of crisis when you're giving as opposed to just receiving. So I want to challenge you to be that kind of a leader in this time. Over the next couple days, we're going to look at two areas of helping us to grow as leaders, helping us to grow in our influence. And it's really under the idea of being a salt, S-A-L-T, salt leader, and being a light leader, L-I-G-H-T. Being salt and light in a world that currently feels a little bit dark and is struggling a little bit with how to move forward and how to go on, not knowing what it means and what's going to happen with all the uncertainties. So I want to challenge you and I to be salt and light in this time. You say, well, what does that really mean? Well, we're going to get into that over the next couple days. But today I just want to kind of give you a quick overview of that. Okay? So what I want you to think about when it comes to being salt and being a salt leader, what I'm talking about is how I lead, how I act, what I do in the world. See, salt is all about what I do. Salt is a very active ingredient. Think about salt and all of its different uses. There are many, many different uses. I won't even get into them all, but salt is one of those ingredients that has a way of preserving, protecting, penetrating. You know, in its different forms, in its different uses, all of those words at one point or another come into play depending on how you're using salt. It's an ingredient that adds value, adds flavor when we're talking about food. It also helps preserve food. It used to be a main ingredient before refrigeration. Salt was used to preserve food and protect it. Salt is used when it comes to road salt, a different form of salt, but used in penetrating through ice to melt that away and take that away. So salt has many different uses. In ancient days, back in Roman days, salt was actually what was used for currency. It's how people got paid. It was that important and that valuable. So when you think about salt and being a salt leader, I want you to think about your activity in these days. How you're moving and acting and being in the world to impact others, what you are doing. And we're going to look at salt and being a salt leader from that perspective, and we'll do that tomorrow. The next day, we're going to look at being light and what it means to be a light leader. And light is different than salt in that light is really about who I am, who you are. It's really about our being. See, salt is about our doing, light is about our being. So who am I? You know, what is the vision that people get when they see me? What do they see? How am I projecting myself? Where salt is an active ingredient, light is something, and we think of light, we think of, you know, a light that shines on a hill and it becomes a focal point, it becomes a vision, it becomes something to look to and see, to give clarity, to give understanding. So being light is about who I am. It's about being that example and that model that others can look to and follow. And it's about what others see in a dark time. Am I going to be the light that they can look to in a time where their life feels very dark and they feel very lost and they feel very confused and they feel very scared? You know, there's a fear that all of us have in this time. But am I going to live in that fear, or am I going to be light that helps people live beyond the fear? Live by faith, have something to hold on to and grab onto. So my light shines, or should shine, in a way that it becomes a beacon for others to look to, that they can see, and they can see a different way. And then being salt means that I actually take action to penetrate into their lives, to make a difference and be an influence in their lives that helps move them to a different place than just being stuck in their fear. So I want to encourage you today that you are a leader, and your value and your worth is needed more than ever. Bring that value and bring that worth to others. Be salt in their life, be light in their life, and we're going to talk about even more specifically how you can do that in the next couple days. Tomorrow we're going to look at how you can actively be salt in the lives of others. And the following day we're going to look at what you need to do to take care of yourself so that you remain a bright light in a dark time. Thanks for tuning in. Hope this is helpful. Please let me know if it is. If this is an encouragement to you, please jot a message in. Let me know so that perhaps it can be seen by others, and others will want to watch because you've been encouraged by it. Share it with others. Feel free to share the video and pass it along. I want to be salt and light in your life in this time. And if you need further assistance or further encouragement, please feel free to reach out to me and contact me. I'm happy to do a 30-minute free coaching session sorry, tongue-tied there. A free 30-minute coaching session with you if you find that would be helpful to you. So reach out to me and let me know if you need that. If you don't, perfectly fine. No obligation here, no expectation that way. But I would encourage you to at least share this, pass it along, get others to watch it, so that together we can be salt and light at a time where people really need some encouragement, especially at a time where people are home, not sure what to do, are feeling isolated and alone. Let's encourage them and let's be helpful to them. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the opportunity to encourage you. God bless.